A very good morning, class. Today we are going to start a new chapter, that is money and its functions. Small reminder for everyone that today evening you have your class test of chapter number 1 at 7:30 p.m. So kindly be prepared for that during the evening. So we are going to talk about the money. What is money? What are its functions? And what are the stages of money? Before we come to the stages of money, before we come to the functions of money, it is important for us that we understand how did money come in place. From the medieval time, medieval period of India, if you see, or medieval history, if you look in, you will find that the concept of money started taking place. The concept of money started taking place. It was not that people had a concept of money from a very beginning of their lives, but with time the need arose and there was a stage when the people required money. But prior to that medieval stage, what did people offer for purchase and sell? They came up with the concept of barter system. Barter system. Barter system is a system wherein goods are exchanged for another good, a commodity is exchanged for a commodity. Wherever the money part is missing, wherever there is a transaction in the forms of money is not there, that is a barter system. So barter system basically means when one good was exchanged for another good. This was the system being followed during the medieval period time till the time of invention of money. Then when the money was invented, it had to go to certain stages before it could be finalized, before it could be accepted by all. We'll talk about the stages of money again in the latter part of the chapter. Today we'll talk about the barter system. Why was barter system not accepted by all, or what were difficulties arose with the barter system? Why was it that a system which was initiated by the government of those era was later on declined and came up with the concept of money? So before we come to that, we need to understand the difficulties of barter system. I hope you must have understood what is a barter system. It is a system wherein goods and services are exchanged with other goods and services. I'll give you an example for this event. Like for example, if I am a farmer and if I produce rice, in return, whatever I produce, I want some books from a bookseller. Now the moment I go to the bookseller, I tell him that I want a books, he says, what you will offer me in return? My thing of production is rice, so I'll offer him rice. But he says that I don't want rice. I already have rice. I want some wheat. So in that case, the exchange will not take place. For this purpose, I'll have to look into the person who has the wheat and who requires rice. If I find that person, I'll first exchange with that person, and that wheat I take it to the bookseller and exchange with him and take the books. So this difficulty was there. This difficulty was termed as difficulty of double coincidence of wants. It is not necessary that whatever surplus you have, the same requirement will be there of mine even. The surplus which is produced by one is not necessary that the other person will also require. So we'll have to match with them. We'll have to create a mutual acceptance, mutual agreement. Then only the exchange could have been possible. That is why the difficulty arose that the people had to look for different issues or different concepts wherein the exchange could take place. The difficulty of double coincidence of want talks about what a person requires should be exchanged with the person who has in surplus. But it is not necessary that two persons will have a transaction. Sometimes their needs do not match with each other. So this was the first problem. Second was lack of common measure of value. For example, if I ask you what is my height, what is my weight, how many persons can sit in a class, okay, all these are measurable. You can measure because we have derived the quantity for measuring. We have derived the scale for measuring. But can we measure? If I exchange a cow with a 2 sack of wheat, can we measure it? Or can we call it on an equal basis? Okay, 2 sack of wheat is equal to 1 horse or 1 cow. So we had to develop a system in which the proportion to which a good was exchanged could be measured. So lack of common measure of value was second most challenge that the people faced. The third concept was lack of divisibility. Lack of divisibility talks about that everything cannot be divided or subdivided into smaller units. For example, if a cow can be exchanged with 5 sheep, now if a person falls short of a sheep, suppose for example he has only 4 sheep, can he exchange the cow? Or can he say the cow seller that you keep some part and give me the rest and I will exchange? With cow we cannot divide, we cannot cut it and divide. So that is impossible. The trade or the exchange could not take place. The fourth is problem of storing wealth. We could not store the wealth for a longer period of time since it was not in a form of bank money, paper money, coins, metals. It was not in a form, it was not in a structure. So we could not store it for a longer period of time. Okay, it was in the form of perishable goods. Perishable goods are those goods which gets ruined after a period of time. So the problem of storing wealth existed during those times. The last problem was that since people could not store it, they could not make the future payments. Means the deferred payment was not possible because people could not store the wealth for a longer period of time. Since it was perishable in nature, people could not store it for a longer period of time. So that is why future transactions were not possible with barter system. So all these difficulties, all these problems made the people to think upon what should be or what could be a new measure through which the goods or the services or the flow of goods and services can take on an easy basis. For that they found a means, they developed a mean, that was money. So money acted as a common measure or a common thing which could be used as exchange, as a medium of exchange for goods and services. A thing which is commonly accepted as a medium of exchange is called money. A thing which has a store of value is called money. A thing which has a standard of deferred payment is money. With this we'll come to know the functions of money. How are the money categorized? One is the primary function, the other is derivative function. One more function is there, that is contingent function, that is additional functions. So major functions are primary and derivative. Okay, with this we'll talk about in the next class. For today, you just remember the difficulties of barter system. Thank you, class.